Good morning, Corpus Christi, Coastal Bend, and listeners worldwide. Welcome on in to another edition of the Sunday Sports Rush right here on News Talk KEYS 1440 AM and 98.7 FM. I am your host, James Espinosa, joined, of course, alongside. He's behind the glass. He's producing the show. He's also my co-host and best friend. It's Adin Ducker.
What's Gucci with it?
And this morning we're joined by Marcos Marroquin making his debut on the Sunday Sports Rush. Marcos, what's up?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Our live audience in the background. I'm happy to be here, James. Excited. Trying not to. Oh, my bad. Excited to be here. Trying not to break any FCC regulations or guidelines.
Yes. It'd be very helpful to us and to the station if you keep it pretty clean, Marcos. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
So
it's easy to not do it in front of Doug, but in front of us, it's a little harder to not do that. But you'll be fine, man.
They like to call Aiden and I the forbidden fruit of 1440 Keys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because once you get a bite of us, you might not go back.
Do you call yourself that, or is that?
I think I made that up just right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and Marco's already going at James. I like it. Let's go.
So, Marcos, real quick, before we dive into our show, hit us up on the text line, 361-882-5397, 361-882-5397. That is the number to get in this morning. Hit us up with all your sports takes. Coming up at 9:50, we have WTF. We have a chess sex toy scandal. And Ime Udoka is in trouble in Boston. At 9:30, we got some Jerry Jones audio and some NFL headlines. At 9:20, we got the news. Pujols hits for 700, and Aaron Judge is going for number 62. We'll talk all that and more coming up in the show. But right now, we have Marcos here. Marcos, real quickly, man, give us a little bit of your background. How old are you?
I'm 18. Fresh out of graduating from Flower Bluff High School. I'm a Spurs, Rangers, Texans fan.
There we go. Wow. Yeah. Spurs, I like the Spurs. Rangers and Texans, I don't mind. That's fine. Yeah. I can respect it, though. I can respect it.
Yeah, that's how you know I'm a real fan, because both of those teams are god-awful.
Yes.
But,
You're a man of integrity, at least. If that's anything we could say about you, at least you have that.
Yeah. Trust me, I would love to be a Chiefs fan right now.
Yeah. Wouldn't we all? So there we go. Marcos Marroquin will be with us throughout the show.
So you remember the 24-point lead that the Texans gave up?
Oh, yeah. I watched that whole game.
Okay.
Whole game.
Damn.
Sorry to bring back bad memories, but that's just how I am. I'm an agent of chaos.
So, yeah, some pretty scarring moments in your Texans fandom, I assume.
I also remember the Bills playoff win the week before.
Yes, yeah, they did beat the Bills. That is, I think everybody forgets the Texans have actually won some playoff games.
Yeah.
But they have. They won more playoff games than the Cowboys in the past decade or so.
Yeah.
Maybe even the past 15 years.
I love bringing that up.
Yeah, that's a good talking point. Speaking of Dallas Cowboys, let's go ahead and jump right into it, because last week the Cowboys beat the Bengals 20-17. We have the audio, Aiden, up there of the game-winning 50-yard field goal from Brett Maher. Here it is. Cowboys beating the Bengals.
There it is on the way. Maher's kick. It's good. Cowboys win it. What a moment for that young man.
Holy crap, the Cowboys actually did it. Last week when we did our NFL Pick'em, Aiden, Alex, and myself all picked the Bengals. The majority of the text line was picking the Bengals, but the Cowboys go out there as 7.5-point underdogs at home. They defeat the Bengals. My goodness, I cannot believe the Cowboys they salvaged a little bit of their season right there, because an 0-2 start would have been really bad, but now they're 1-1. And here we go. Wow, the Cowboys did it. Speaking of some guys who stepped up for the Cowboys, we got to throw a Cooper Rush party this morning. Cooper Rush was big time this game. Cooper Rush did his damn thing, and he did it early on, guys. After the first quarter, Rush was 7 of 9 for 116 yards, 1 touchdown, and he had a 155.8 passer rating. The Cowboys led after the first quarter 14-3. And the one thing that I saw out of Dallas, it was on their first drive when it was 4th and 2. The Cowboys were in their own side of the field. They're roughly on their own 40, maybe 42, something like that. And instead of going conservative and doing a little short pass, doing a little bit of a handoff, they go 18 yards down the field to Noah Brown to pick up the first down. And in my opinion, that set the tone for the rest of the game. The Cowboys didn't play scared with their backup quarterback. And to me, that was the most surprising thing of all, is that they let Cooper Rush throw it downfield, and they enabled him to gain some confidence early on, and we saw it throughout the rest of the game, and then we even saw it in the game-winning drive, which led to the Maher field goal. He had to make 3 downfield throws to get him there. Adin, what were your thoughts? Cooper Rush, man, I am totally shocked that he was able to pull it off.
I'll give Cooper Rush his credit. He didn't make any, bad mistakes. Didn't turn the ball over or whatchamacallit. But for me, I guess it's a team victory. Don't get me wrong, but I think the main reason why the Cowboys won this game is because of the defense.
I'm glad you brought up the defense because Micah freaking Parsons. That's all that needs to be said. Micah Parsons is a damn freak. He is an animal. He is a destroyer on that defense, dude. Look, I'm going to go as far as to say this. I know Aaron Donald gets his flowers, rightfully so. One of the best defensive players ever, probably the best defensive player of this generation. But the next man up is Micah Parsons. And I think Micah Parsons can be greater than what Aaron Donald ever was because of this. Micah Parsons, you never know where he's at. Aaron Donald, you know where he's at. He's in the middle of the line. You could double team Aaron Donald. You could do all this stuff. With Micah Parsons, he could line up literally anywhere. And offenses have to account for that. And it's going to be hard to do for 50, 60, 70-plus snaps per game with number 11 lining up outside at linebacker, with number 11 going at defensive end, when they put number 11 at linebacker, covering the flats, all that stuff. Micah Parsons is a GD animal.
He's just relentless. Obviously he's very athletic. That obviously helps, but he's not complete. I'm not gonna say because he's a smart player too. Don't get me wrong, but there's a screw loose and he really wants to make things happen. He has that water boy thing going on.
I like that. He does have a little bit of an insane side to him.
Yeah, a little insane. Obviously, he's intelligent, like I said. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that he has that thing where he really wants to destroy offenses and whatnot.
So Micah Parsons this season, his ranks entering week number 3, he is first in sacks with 4, tied for first in quarterback hits with 7, tied for first in tackles for loss with 4, and tied for first with pressures with 13.
And
telling you, dude.
And I have to. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm more of an anti-apologist. But I gotta give Trayvon Diggs credit because I said Chase was gonna moss him dirty, and it didn't happen.
He locked him. He only gave up 2 receptions to Chase the whole game.
Now I didn't see the middle part of the game, but was Trayvon Diggs, it didn't seem like he was playing too aggressively, which is something that was a critique of his. He would always jump routes, try to get the pick instead of...
There was a couple of instances where he did try to jump a route.
But he used to do it way more often.
Yeah. He's playing a little bit more cerebral now, is Trayvon Diggs. And also Trayvon Diggs had that huge third down stop to Tyler Boyd in the flat. I was a big time criticizing Trayvon Diggs last week for his lack of tackling and the fact that I think he's scared of contact. He wasn't scared of contact right there. He made the damn stop on 3rd and 1, which forced the punt, which then led to the game-winning drive for the Cowboys.
I'm pretty sure Dan Quinn himself, you know that clip of him avoiding tackling Leonard Fournette? I'm pretty sure Dan Quinn showed that multiple times to the defense and be like, hey, actually tackle, actually want to be involved in
361-882-5397. Get your takes on the Cowboys in here on the text line. Hit me up on Twitter at Sir Edward James. Marcos, I know you're not the Cowboys fan, but what are your thoughts on Micah Parsons?
He's a beast. Just to be 100% upfront on everything about it, he is different. I don't think really anybody expected him to be this coming into the NFL. But he's been an Aaron Donald. He's been a TJ Watt. He's been a JJ Watt in his prime. He's been a Von Miller. He's that dude.
Yes.
He's a game wrecker.
I
You know,
agree.
that's what they call him.
I
He's a
agree.
game wrecker.
And I like how you said that. He's built different.
Yes, he is.
A little bit built different. And it's a pleasure to see Micah Parsons out there week in and week out for the Cowboys. Now, another guy who stepped up for Dallas, who I think should get some flowers as well, we got to give a shout out to Noah Brown, because the Cowboys had been needing a second wide receiver to step up to kind of help CeeDee Lamb out in that regard. And Noah Brown had a couple of really big catches. He had a big-time catch off a deflection on the game-winning drive, which kept the drive going. And then he also had that touchdown catch in the first quarter. Him and Cooper Rush have a good bond together because they've both been practice squad guys. They're both backup guys. That is primarily Noah Brown's quarterback in practice. It's Cooper Rush.
Yes, and the Cowboys need Noah Brown to be that Cedric Wilson that y'all had last season.
Yep.
Even when Dak comes back, I didn't really take into account. I think Phil Sims, we played his audio that he said he mentioned the Cooper Rush Noah Brown connection.
Yeah.
And I got to give Phil Sims his flowers on that.
I know. I made fun of Phil Sims' comments last week because, I thought it was a little bit preposterous what Phil Sims was throwing out there. But, hey, man, he was right. CeeDee Lamb, by the way, had 7 catches for 75 yards on 11 targets. So he had himself a little bit of a better game. And, going back to what happened with the Cowboys defense, if the Cowboys defense can play like they did for the next couple of games, they got the Giants on the road at Monday Night Football tomorrow night, and then next week against the Commanders. If they can play the way they've been playing, they held the Bucs and Brady to 19. They held Burrow and the Bengals to 17. They've yet to give up more than 20 points in a game this year through 2 games. If they can continue to play some solid defense like this, even with Cooper Rush in the game against the Giants and the Commanders for at least the next 2 games, the Cowboys have a chance to win both of these games. Legitimately have a chance to be 3-1 here in the next couple of weeks. So things are a little bit on the upswing if you're a Cowboys fan. Go ahead, Adin.
Yeah, it's just this Cowboys seems like they're more solid of a unit than I thought, but it makes Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones trading away Amari Cooper just more frustrating for y'all.
Yes, because Amari's been balling with the Browns. And we'll get into some NFL headlines at 10:30. One more quick Cowboys note before I hit the break. Michael Gallup practiced this week. He could be a game-time decision tomorrow night for Monday Night Football.
I would wait another week, but I'm not the team doctor, so.
Yeah.
But
I get what you're saying. Maybe wait another week, bring him back at home against the Commanders, but there is a possibility that Gallup will be playing tomorrow, and that would just add a little bit more to the offense because they need all the weapons they can get while Dak Prescott is out. Cowboys beat the Bengals 20-17. We want your reactions on the text line. Hit us up, 361-882-5397. I got text rolling in right now. Stay patient. I'll get to you here momentarily, but coming up next, Albert Pujols hits number 700. Aaron Judge is going for 62 home runs. I'll tell you why this whole media obsession with Aaron Judge is ridiculous. We'll give our props to Albert Pujols, and we'll take your text. Keep it locked. It's the Sunday Sports Rush. Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Rush News Talk, KEYS. It is episode number 90. That is right. We are in the 90s, 10 away from number 100. We should be at 100 sometime in December. Looking forward to that. Everybody who's been on this ride with us for the past year and a half already. It's been amazing. We appreciate y'all listening each and every Sunday. So we were talking Cowboys in the first segment. We have Edward in here on the text line. 361-882-5397. Get your text. Get your takes in here right now. Thoughts on the Cowboys win last week. Thoughts on the Cowboys going forward. Edward says this about the Cowboys. The offense had a great first half. Second half, it looked like they were just trying to hold on to the lead. They stopped attacking. Good point. The Cowboys did go through a little bit of a lull in the second, third, and even in the early fourth quarters, and the defense had to really step up and stop that Bengals offense. You're right about that, Edward. It seemed like they did get a little bit conservative. It seemed like but credit to the Bengals as well. They don't have a piss-poor defense. They played pretty good as well. They made some adjustments to Cooper Rush, but in the end, it was the Cowboys who came out victorious. So I do like that point. You would like to see more consistency from the Cowboys offense throughout the entire game. Now, I know Marcos had a point on the Bengals he wanted to get to. What were you going to say about the Bengals, Marcus?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, this is a team that's supposed to be contending. This is a team that is supposed to be the AFC, the champions of the AFC, supposed to go to another Super Bowl. This is a team that's supposed to be competing, and they're 0-2. One of those losses to the Dallas Cowboys with a weak offensive line. Obviously, the Cowboys, Micah Parsons, swarming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and they spent money on that offensive line, and
Oh, my God. Lyle Collins, last week, whenever he had to line up against Micah Parsons, Lyle Collins, former Dallas Cowboys right tackle, I kid you not, Lyle Collins was crapping himself each and every time Parsons was lined up in front of him.
yeah. I do see like a few of those sacks though. Joe Burrow holds on a little bit too long. The receivers aren't getting as much separation as they usually
Is he
get.
holding on too long, or are those just coverage sacks? Maybe the secondary did a good job of locking guys up. I mean, it could be a factor.
It's a mix of everything. Like that Bengals offense needs some work.
Shout out to Dorrance Armstrong from the Cowboys, by the way. 2 sacks as well in that game last week. So we're going to be talking Cowboys all show long. We got a Cowboys segment coming up in the second hour where we're going to scout the New York Giants. But right now, it's time for us to get to the 920 news.
There's a lot of news.
And now the news.
Albert Pujols has joined the 700 Club, the 4th member ever
Albert.
in the 700 Club. Big claps for Albert.
Okay.
Big claps for Albert.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
Big claps. There we go. Thank you to the live studio audience. A little bit of a late reaction, but it's all good. So Pujols did it Friday night against the Dodgers. He hit 2 home runs that night, matter of fact. He hit 699 on Friday and 700 in the same game. Hit number 700 was against his former team. So yeah, man, that was pretty awesome. He's the first member of the 700 Club to be born outside of the United States. So shout out to that. And we have the audio right here. Go ahead, Adin. Play the audio of Albert Pujols' number 700 via Apple TV.
Pujols sends one in the air. It's deep to left. Taylor's back at the wall. It's 700. Albert Pujols has joined the 700 home run club.
That's awesome.
You know, the call wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be because I guess the play-by-play guy is pretty good. I guess
It's everybody else.
Yeah.
It's Hunter Pence. It's Katie Nolan.
Oh, don't get me started. on
They're
Katie
not
Nolan.
that great on Apple TV, but at least the call was serviceable. So Albert Pujols, number 700, nothing but respect for Albert Pujols, especially the way he had to do it this year. A lot of people, I mean, this is his last year. And a lot of people are like, oh, there's no way Pujols is going to hit 21 home runs this year to get to 700. He's probably going to fall a tad bit short. But hey, man, this past month, Albert Pujols has been on an absolute tear. I know that the Cardinals are fighting for a playoff position. So this bat by Albert Pujols can be pretty critical for them, especially if he's able to keep it up as the postseason comes. So, yeah.
And then didn't somebody at MLB Network make a prediction?
Yes, okay, so let's go ahead and get to that real quick. So, on the MLB Network, this happened in April. All right? And Greg Amsinger, he's kind of like their version of, I don't even know, who's the guy that does the Red Zone? Scott Hansen. He's like their Scott Hansen, but for MLB. Well, back in April, he made one of the greatest predictions that you can ever make. He actually predicted this exact scenario for Albert Pujols. Mind you, this happened in April. Go ahead and play the audio, Adin.
Albert's going to play so much more than people think. He is. He's a draw, and he's going to be productive. He will reach 700 career home runs. I do have bad news, Cardinal fans. I have bad news. He's going to hit his 700th career home run on the road.
And only fitting it'll be in Wrigley, right?
No.
Is that where-
Friday night in Los Angeles in September.
Dude, this happened in April, and he said he's going to hit 700 on the road on a Friday night in Los Angeles.
Yeah, the only thing though, I think afterwards he did say it was gonna be out Clayton Kershaw. So
Okay,
he was
yeah.
wrong there.
But still,
I mean,
that's a hell of a prediction.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Albert Pujols?
Absolute legend from Albert. Like 2 home runs in the same day. You know, at the time of his second home run, number 700, that he had brought in all 5 of the runs for the Cardinals. He has been a productive bat in this lineup. He hasn't been the old grandpa that we bring out with the walking stick, just to get some claps. No, he's at 17 home runs since the All-Star break.
That's what I'm saying.
He has been a hot bat in that lineup.
So does Albert Pujols bring back bad memories, Rangers fans?
Oh, my. Adin, you didn't have to do that to me.
The Rangers would have won a World Series had Nelson Cruz knew how to catch a ball. You
know what the name is? I'm going to say it this one time, but the name that really gets me every time, David Freese.
Yep.
Every time.
It's his first show. I'm not warming him up. I'm not buttering him up. I'm going for it.
Break him in, man.
Yes.
Let's go. So Albert did it. Congrats to Albert. Now let's get to Aaron Judge. Because Aaron Judge is sitting on 60. He hit 60, when was it? Thursday night? Friday night? He hit 60. And the national media is making a big old deal that, oh my God, they're breaking into, like yesterday during college football, they were literally breaking in to games. They were showing Aaron Judge's live at bats. Okay, dude, you're going for the 7th all-time on the home run single season list. That is awesome. Incredible. You're nowhere near 73. I'm sorry, Barry Bonds is still my home run king. The MLB never stripped Barry Bonds. They never took his home runs away. He is still the home run king. I get it. He's a Yankee. He's going to pass Maris. He's going to go for the Yankees all-time single season thing.
That's the main reason, because he's a Yankee.
Okay, but enough, man. You're nowhere close to 73. It's impressive.
He's still having a great
season.
He's
an MVP. It's impressive. Not taking that away, but quit blowing this up more than it is.
Imagine him in the Astros outfield.
Ooh.
That is absolutely ridiculous. This hasn't happened in over 20 years. This is baseball history that we're watching. And no, I'm not a Yankees fan. I hate the pinstripes. But this is history that we're watching live before our eyes. He's probably going to break the the American League home run record. He is probably going to get his name a lot higher on that home run list. This is legendary stuff from what is an all-time great performance from Aaron Judge.
If he gets on a tear and reaches 69 home runs, that would be
nice.
Legendary.
Very nice. That'd be awesome. Okay, good points right there. No, Marcos, those are good points. Marcos is a baseball guy, all right? One of the best that's ever come out of this area. Flower Bluff's very own cleanup hitter this past season. So Marcos knows a thing or two about hitting baseballs. And if Marcos appreciates Aaron Judge and all the historics that's behind this, then I appreciate that opinion.
And he's not roided up.
We don't know that.
We
don't know that. That's my point. Is that
serious?
This is my point though? Like
we're Astros fans, Marcos.
People want to crap on Barry Bonds because he was roided up. So what? Baseball never did nothing about it. Baseball profited off the steroid era, and now Barry Bonds is the black cloud? Come on, man. But shout out to Aaron Judge. I do hope he passes Maris's record, and I hope he does break the AL record as well. And we'll see what happens. So baseball. A lot of baseball talk in the 920 news. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Just having a great year with his final year as a Yankee.
Yeah, so we'll see what's up. One more point, Marcos. We got 20 seconds.
Aaron Judge is one of 6 people all time to hit 60 in a season, and you are being absolutely disrespectful to this legendary accomplishment.
Marcos, laying it down on me, man.
Gosh.
The new guy coming in hot. 361-882-5397. Hit us up on your takes. Coming up next, we got some Jerry Jones audio and some NFL headlines. Keep it locked. You're listening to the Sunday Sports Rush. Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Rush News Talk KEYS. With you till 11 a.m. It's episode number 90. James Espinosa, Adin Ducker, and Marcos Marroquin with you this morning. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll have WTF, so keep it locked for that. Some craziness happening. You know what to expect in WTF. Also, you know what to expect when you go to Nucky's Cocktail Bar down in Kingsville, Texas, 1406 North 14th Street. It's happy hour all day down there today. It's NFL Sunday. No better place to go to enjoy some fresh Texas craft beer, some handcrafted cocktails. My favorite that they make a mean old fashioned. Absolutely love it. And don't forget about their mouth-watering wings. Get that hot and lemon pepper mix. Chef's kiss, baby. Love it. It's Nucky's Cocktail Bar down in Kingsville, Texas, 1406 North 14th Street. Hit them up and let them know that the Sunday Sports Rush sent you. All righty. So we had some nice little baseball discussion right there. I liked it in the last segment. But now it's time to dive into a little bit more football talk because Jerry freaking Jones, guys. Jerry Jones, owner, general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, he just can't keep his damn mouth shut. And you know what? This is something that I should just expect. This is something that I should just live with. But why? He's the only general manager who talks in the locker room after a game for any NFL team. Name another
owner.
NFL team. No, he's the general manager too.
Well, no, but I'm saying that owners as well. I don't see Robert Kraft talking after Patriots games.
Name me another general manager or owner who talks with the media at the locker room after a game. I'll wait. But Jerry Jones cannot keep his damn mouth shut. 5 radio appearances a week. He just always has to keep some kind of controversy going. Well, this past week, he opened his big fat mouth on Thursday, and he said that he would welcome a quarterback controversy between Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott. Here's Jerry Jones talking about said controversy via John Machota of The Athletic.
So you'd want that? You'd want that controversy?
Of course I would.
Okay.
Of course that means we'd won. If it comes in there and played as well as Prescott played, Rush played that well over these next games ahead, I'd walk New York to get there.
Do you think he can do that?
Well, I don't know that, but I would. You can't find on record where I said I thought Dak Prescott could do it when he stepped in and had the chance to do that, but he did it.
What do we think about Jerry Jones's comments? Hit us up on the text line 361-882-5397. He would welcome a quarterback controversy. Now, I'll go first real quick. I can see where people are upset at this because it kind of sounds like, hey, if Cooper Rush is playing outstanding, then hell yeah, he's going to keep on playing and Dak Prescott's not going to come back. Our $40 million quarterback will sit on the bench while Cooper Rush is riding the hot hand. And, generally speaking, that probably wouldn't be a bad strategy, especially if Cooper Rush does win a lot of games and is playing at a really good level. So I see his point. But my counterpoint to that is, why even put this storyline out there? Now your players are forced to answer these awkward questions. Now this is a talking point where all the talking heads like Skip and Shannon were debating it. Everything like that, even us on the Sunday Sports Rush, it's a topic right now, right? He has us talking. Why, Jerry? Why can't you just keep your mouth shut?
Because of that. Because everyone's talking about it. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone's talking about the Cowboys. Everybody's talking about when is Dak Prescott coming back? Can Cooper Rush keep them afloat until he comes back? That is exactly why Jerry Jones does these things. He does it for publicity. He does it to get the Cowboys bigger. Say what you want about his performance of the team performance while he's at the helm, but he has grown that Cowboys brand. We them boys.
Marco, wait, hold on. Let me play it real quick. Hold on. All right, there we go.
This might be the best debut we've ever had.
Oh, Alex? No.
No shouts to Alex. I'm just saying.
No, don't slander Alex.
I'm not.
Alex had a good debut too.
I didn't slander Alex at all.
Alex, you're listening. You heard that.
No, I didn't slander Alex at all.
Alex, this is horrible.
No, but
I can't believe the slander of Alex Weister right now.
Oh, your mic?
Yeah, I remember. Mike.
But
go ahead. Your reactions.
That was one of the points I was gonna make as well. Thank you, Marcos. You summed up one of my points brilliantly. I'm not gonna repeat it. There's no point. But I will say too, deep down, Jerry does want Dak to play better. He doesn't want to see what happened in Week 1. I think this is a slight call out to Dak as well.
I agree with that. I think, there is a slight call out because Dak is going to want an extension in a couple of years. And let's face facts. If Dak Prescott can't stay healthy, he's not going to get that extension because he's been hurt these past 3 years already. The ankle last year, the quad last year, the shoulder this year, the thumb. Is Dak Prescott becoming injury prone? That's another thing to look at long term.
And another thing too, Jerry Jones, the question was asked to him by the reporter. Let's be real.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
About him wanting to play. About would you want Cooper Rush to play well?
Let me reiterate something here. Jerry Jones came out to the media and started speaking about he would want the quarterback controversy. The clip I played was the reporter asking him, "You really would want that?" Jerry Jones did this unsolicited.
Oh,
unsolicited. He came out and talked to the media and said, "I would welcome a quarterback controversy."
I mean,
That's my
think,
point.
I think,
Why do you do this? Why?
I think deep down, he wants Cooper Rush to play well because at least the Cowboys wins. But like what Marco said, Jerry Jones loves stirring that pot.
So there we go. He does stir the pot. He gets me pissed off, as you could tell, this morning.
To be fair to Dak Prescott in week 1, they were playing the Bucs. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's one of the best defenses in all of football. You know, they limited not only the Cowboys to 3 points, I think.
Yes.
And then the Saints to 10.
Yeah, but if you're an elite quarterback, you put up at least some points.
Dak Prescott
against
played.
a good defense.
Agreed.
Dak Prescott played like absolute shit. All right?
Oh, man.
I didn't say it.
James loves towing that line.
I didn't hear anything.
He played like absolute crap.
There
All
we
right?
go.
So there we go. Mike McCarthy said there's no quarterback controversy. Dak's our quarterback. They even asked Ezekiel Elliott his thoughts. This was Zeke's quote about Jerry Jones' comments. Zeke said he wants y'all to be clicking and listening too. It's all marketing. It's all marketing. When Zeke Elliott has to say that, it's just the fact that this is even a storyline. All right, let's move on. Let's move on because I'm getting absolutely upset. The Bills lost safety Micah Hyde for the season. He's going to be put on IR. That's a big loss for the Bills.
Yeah, they already don't have Xavier Howard, although he's going to come back sometime this season. But, yeah, I mean, that's a big loss of that back end. Him and Poyer are probably considered the best safety duo in the league, so that's going to hurt them a little bit.
Another injury note that you should keep your eyes on, especially if you're playing fantasy football like the majority of us are, Justin Herbert is going to be a game-time decision today. The latest report that we saw is he's going to practice, so he's going to do the pregame, but he's still debating on whether to get that injection into his ribs, the same one that ended Tyrod Taylor.
And they kept the same doctor as well. I'm telling you, that was truly believe that was intentional because they wanted Herbert to start, but they didn't want Tyrod Taylor to play.
Have you ever got a haircut by somebody with a shaky hand?
There was one guy I go to. His name is Roger Stutzman. He is a G.
But what I'm saying is, like, can you imagine the doctor just trying to give the shot to Herbert and his hands just like shaking, like, man, I already messed this up for one quarterback. I better not mess this up again.
That's why I can never be like a doctor or a nurse because my hands, like in those stress relief moments, might get a little jittery.
You got to have a firm grip.
Yeah.
When you're administering the shots.
I got a firm grip of other things, but in terms of the medical world, nah.
George Kittle is going to be back. He's making his 49ers debut today after missing the first couple of games. So that's a big gain for the 49ers. But 49ers also lost Trey Lance last week with a broken ankle. He's out for the season. And now Jimmy G is back as the starting quarterback for the 49ers.
Yeah, but Jimmy G has that Tom Brady handsome quality to where his handsomeness inspires the rest of his team.
Well,
so therefore it makes the Niners better. Look at Kyle Shanahan's coaching record. He's like several games below 500 when Jimmy D doesn't play, and when Jimmy D does play, the Niners are a good team. Now Jimmy G, he elevates the Niners, I guess, but he doesn't like. I've always said it's the weirdest thing with Jimmy G. Like he doesn't light the world up stat wise,
but he gets it done.
But I mean, they win. It doesn't. It's like Tom Brady early in his career. It doesn't make sense.
Last year in the playoff run, he made some big time throws that they needed to make.
No, he wasn't even playing that well.
But he did make some big throws to move the offense.
He didn't. No, he wasn't even playing that well. But the Niners still won. It's. I can't explain it.
He took them to the Super Bowl a few years back. Marcos?
One of the biggest things to me.
They hand off the ball to Raheem Mostert. That's what happened.
Yeah, but one of the biggest things to me is that the 49ers will play for Jimmy G.
That's what I'm saying.
They want to play for Jimmy G. You know, they were all like, let's go, Trey. Let's go, Trey. Because they have to. He's the starting quarterback. You know, that's their job. You know, they have to support their guy. But they want to play for Jimmy G. They love playing for him. You saw them whenever they got the win. They all rallied around him, put him on a pedestal, you know.
Yeah.
Rudy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
They win games in spite of Jimmy G at times, but when
they
he doesn't,
like
when he doesn't play,
the
team when he doesn't play just craps the bed. It's so weird.
Cole Beasley is going to play for the Buccaneers today. They signed Cole Beasley off the free agent list, and he is going to be active today for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have a ton of wide receiver injuries, and Mike Evans was suspended last week for getting in an altercation with Marshawn Lattimore of the Saints.
I'm a huge Mike Evans fan, obviously, because of I have him on my fantasy team, but I understand it because it's not his first time he's shoved Marshawn Lattimore to the ground like that. It is what it is, but another wide receiver for Brady to throw to.
Ooh, nice. I like it. Cole Beasley.
Reincarnation of the 2016 Patriots.
Cole Beasley and Scotty Miller. Love that combo.
I do say it's pretty tough with Mike Evans, but you got to protect Tom Brady.
He said he did
Tom
it for
Brady.
right. They had a clip after the game or whatever. They caught Mike Evans, talking on the field, and he pretty much said like, "It's Tom Brady. What do you expect?" As if like, I gotta support my guy. And if you look at the clip, Tom Brady's the one that started the fight.
It was Tom Brady and Bruce Arians.
He instigated. Tom Brady instigated the fight with Lattimore.
Always the instigator in every altercation on the field.
Brady was never like this as a Patriot. Like he'll draw back, but it was only whenever he was antagonized first.
Also, another note: Bruce Arians is supposed to be like in the front office of the Bucs now, and he was on the sidelines.
So what happened was the Saints didn't provide a box for the front office people of the Bucs. You had the GM out there, Jason Licht out there.
The Saints came back and said there was a box available. So it's a he said, she said situation. But still, Bruce Arians is on the field, former head coach. Kind of weird. And then also they said that Bruce Arians, like you said, Adin, kind of instigated the altercation as well. And the NFL had to warn Bruce Arians about that.
I know Bruce Arians isn't the coach anymore, but so far 2 weeks that Bucs offense, and there's injuries here and there, but they do not look as crisp as they did the last couple seasons.
Tom Brady also broke 2 tablets against the Saints, so add that to his stat line.
You know what this reminds?
2 Microsoft tablets.
This reminds me of. You remember Peyton Manning's last year as a Bronco?
Yeah.
He actually fell off, but the Broncos defense kind of carried the entire season.
Yeah, I feel you.
This is a summary of Brady's career. I would not be surprised if he actually fell down play-wise, but the Bucs defense, lifts him up again.
I have an audio clip to play real quick, and it's involving Dan Orlovsky. And this happened on Monday Night Football in the pregame of Bills and Titans. Now, Dan Orlovsky, he's a great analyst, don't get me wrong. He does good work. I enjoy his work. Well, he was talking pregame, and then he had a mishap. And now, I want us to listen to this audio very closely. Here is Dan Orlovsky.
Now, the big change is the commitment to running the football.
Did he fart?
That does not. That sounds like.
One more time and crank that audio up. One more time and crank it up.
It is cranked up. Hold on. Maybe I crank it up again.
The big change is the commitment to running the football.
So he sneezed, and then it sounds like he was trying to hold in another sneeze, and it just came out the opposite end.
That did not sound like. It sounded like one of the fart noises you make with your mouth.
So do you think he did it with his mouth?
I'm not
fart
sure,
or no
man.
fart, Marcos?
Objectively, or what I want it to be.
What do you think it is objectively?
Objectively, it's his mouth.
What about you, Adin? Fart or no fart?
I think it's his mouth.
Okay, I think it's a fart. There we go. And that's going to wrap up our NFL.
Oh, where is it? I'm looking for it. I can't find it.
Headlines. Which one are you looking for?
Looking for Wayne Rooney.
It's in there. So
sometimes you don't tile these right, and it's all mixed up.
Man. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up our NFL segment. We do have WTF coming up. Ime Udoka is in trouble. There's some disturbing details that have emerged from the Ime Udoka case. We're going to talk about that, and also a chess cheating scandal. Keep it locked. It's the Sunday Sports Rush. Keep it right here. Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Rush, News Talk KEYS. With you till 11 a.m. Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll talk some college football. The Longhorns blew it once again. I was sadly disappointed. I'll dive into all that coming up here in about 10 minutes' time. It's James Espinosa, Adin Ducker, and Marcos Marroquin joining us, making his debut on the Sunday Sports Rush. For your rookie debut, I say you're doing pretty well. Right now, you're the third man on the bench. You've already put up 8 points. You're, 2 of whatever shooting, a couple of free throws. You're doing quite well.
Nah, he hit back-to-back Steph Curry threes on his Jerry Jones tape.
And he's been challenging me, and I like that. I like a challenge, Marcos.
I say he has 12 points right now. He's 4 or 5 shooting.
Yeah, 12 points, 4 or 5. Some nice defense.
Lower field goal percentage. I'm missing the mic.
Yeah, missing the mic, yeah.
Mic.
Yeah, that's the one thing he has to work on is keeping his mouth on the mic, so to speak. But, hey, he'll get there. He will get there in time. 361-882-5397. Let's go ahead and let's dive into WTF.
What the F-bomb is going on?
Yeah, that's what the F I'm talking about.
What the is that? Who are you?
What is wrong with you?
Before I dive into WTF, I do have some guys on the text line. I'll get to you guys here at the beginning of the next segment. So stay patient on the text line. Hit us up 361-882-5397. All right. There was a scandal in Boston this past week. Ime Udoka has been suspended for the entire 22-23 season by the Boston Celtics. He allegedly had a role in a consensual relationship with a female staff member, sources told ESPN. So Ime Udoka is dating Nia Long, and actress, gorgeous actress, by the way.
Gorgeous. How did you fumble that bag?
So what's being alleged is that he had a consensual relationship, but it was also improper because it went against the Celtics, code of conduct, stuff like that. And man, my initial take on this is, look, I'm pretty sure he's not the only guy doing this. It's wrong. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. It is totally wrong what he did. But I feel like he's being really, for lack of a better word, ostracized here. I don't know. Like, they're making an example out of him when others have probably done this. I mean, I don't see what the big not what the big deal is, but I don't see why this is such a national scandal.
Yeah, I've heard unconfirmed rumors. I'm going to say unconfirmed rumors because about Steve Kerr allegedly. I'm not getting into that. But do you want to know how it was found out in the first place? This came during the first hour of the show.
What came?
Kevin Frazier, I think he was an NBA reporter or something like that. Oh, I see.
Go ahead.
Anyway, multiple sources confirmed Celtics female staffer's affair with Celtics coach Ime Udoka was uncovered by her husband when he overheard a private conversation on a home doorbell camera.
Wow.
Ring, ring, ring.
The ring bell caught him.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So the woman was, both were in, both the woman and
Oh, it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It takes two to tango.
I think the reason why this is such a big deal, though, is this is one of the best teams in the league. And although he's a new head coach, he comes from a very, very, what's the word?
I heard Tony Parker kind of set an example for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a coach Tony Parker. He's a coach Tony Parker.
Tony Parker slept with Brent Barry's wife.
Yeah.
His teammate.
He was inspired by Tony Parker.
That is the most savage you can ever get. Talk about trying to destroy a locker room. But yeah, so, it happened. He's going to get suspended, and I doubt that he will ever be the head coach of the Celtics again. Assistant coach Joe Mazzulla will now be the interim coach for the Celtics this season. So we'll see what happens.
How would he return as the Celtics head coach? Say the Celtics don't drop off necessarily. Maybe they make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's too awkward of a situation, man.
I don't think he's going to return. Matter of fact, spin zone here. Pop retires in a year. Ime Udoka leaves the Celtics to come coach the Spurs.
I don't even think. It's possible. I don't even think the Spurs. The Spurs already. I guess they have history with that. But
we don't want him.
He's a good coach. That's the thing.
I'd want him.
But I don't know. It's a slippery slope.
Women want him.
I think the biggest issue. The biggest issue the NBA has is they didn't ban Robert Sarver. He has to sell his team, but they didn't even outright ban him. That's a bigger issue with me.
The NBA has a lot to deal with right now, and this was just the latest in that. So we'll see.
What Robert Sarver did was way worse than what Ime Udoka
of
did.
course, Robert Sarver was dropping N-bombs like it was nothing. And that's, he got in trouble. He was also harassing people in his front office
He was
staff.
harassing men.
Yeah. Weird. Just weird behavior
It doesn't matter what your sexual preference is, whether you like women or men. If you're that creepy, man, just screw off, man.
Chess sex toy cheating scandal.
Oh yeah.
Chess sex toy cheating scandal.
Oh no.
It's a bold statement.
So, world number 1 Magnus Carlsen was playing this prodigy named Hans Niemann, and there was some controversy here because according to this story, this Hans Niemann was mimicking moves on the chessboard that only an AI, an artificial intelligence, could mimic. And people were kind of catching on these moves are not what humans would make. These moves are too calculated, they're too precise, they're too good. There's cheating allegations against Hans Niemann that he used a sex toy in his anus that would vibrate in Morse code that would tell him which moves to make.
What?
What?
I don't even. I'll tell you, man. That's absurd. These are alleged. Like they haven't even disproved this yet. So
Rook to King 5. Hold up real quick. Rook to 5.
Okay.
But
I can't even explain, man. Chess is very competitive, and this was streamed. I mean, I don't think this is absurd. It sounds like a world number one is getting beat badly.
No, and that's what it is. Look, I want to be serious about this too. The world number one got embarrassed, and he's not used to getting embarrassed. This Magnus Carlsen guy, and they created this scandal because they couldn't believe that this Hans Niemann, who is a 19-year-old prodigy, he's not even ranked in the world yet, could beat him and beat him quite handily. But yeah, the fact that a sex toy is being alleged to be in his anus and vibrating in Morse code to give him the exact moves is one of the most preposterous things I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, I'd rather do that than have my own 56-year-old mother as a surrogate. You heard that story?
Yeah, I did.
Why?
Woman in Utah used her son's baby juice to be a surrogate.
No.
Imagine you're that woman knowing that your son's child is in you.
No. I don't care if it's surrogate. Still,
she's
weird.
giving birth to her grandchild.
And she's 56.
She's going to give birth to her grandchild.
Just
wrap that sentence around your
head.
Like,
women already have tough times with pregnancy as is, and she's 56. Anyway, we're going to say Marcos real quick.
Yeah, Marcos.
I was just going to say with the last story, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I guess so.
I mean,
imagine him making his move, and then he's just like holding his stomach doubled over in pain.
I mean, even if he's doing that, I got to respect him for going through the grind. Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, hats off to him.
You know, he was deep in the game. Very deep in the game. So there we go.
Yeah, man. He went, Mike Ehrmantraut deep in the game, man.
Yeah, very, very deep in the game. And that's going to wrap up WTF. One of the most exciting, controversial segments out there in talk radio today. All right. How do you feel about your first WTF, Marcos?
It was weird.
It got weird. I'm going to tell you something right now. It's been weirder. That was tame.
I don't doubt it.
Nah, that was one of our weirder ones. It's probably like number 6.
Yeah, put it that way. All right, that wraps up our number 1. We will have college football talk coming up here shortly. We will get to your text on the text line. Hit us up, 361-882-5397. You're listening to the Sunday Sports Rush on News Talk KUIS, 1440 AM and 98.7 FM, Corpus Christi. Good morning, Corpus Christi Coastal Bend listeners worldwide. Welcome into hour number 2 of the Sunday Sports Rush on News Talk KUIS, 1440 AM and 98.7 FM. It is episode number 90. It's James Espinosa, Adin Ducker, and Marcos Marroquin with us this morning. Marcos Marroquin making his debut on the Sports Rush.
I had a little sounder mishap.
Oh, it's all good, man. It is all good. We've been having a fun time this morning.
Remember when the board is on.
Yes, when the board is on, the show is on. We're having fun with you this morning. Get into the text line, 361-882-5397, 361-882-5397. Who wins tomorrow night between the Cowboys and the Giants? Here in about 15 minutes, we'll have our official Cowboys versus Giants preview with our predictions. So I want to know from you, the listening audience. Hit us up, 361-882-5397. Get your takes in here. Who wins Monday Night Football? Cowboys on the road against the New York Giants. We'll have that game tomorrow night right here on Keys. Pre-game starting at 6 p.m. with kickoff at 7:15. So make sure you give us a listen on Keys. You'll get Brad Sham and Babe Loffenberg on your radio speaker dial. So there we go. I got a couple of things to get to real quick before we dive into college football and the disaster that was the Texas Longhorns in Lubbock yesterday. At Tacos and Touchdowns is on Twitter. You can hit me up at Sir Edward James. Tacos and Touchdowns, my guy, Aaron B's on here. He says it's episode number 90, exclamation points, the DeMarcus Lawrence episode. I like it. Number 90, DeMarcus Lawrence. That's great right there. Shout out to Aaron. Appreciate you getting in, my man. Alex Weister's in here on Twitter. Alex Weister says, in Carson Wentz we trust, and for a speedy recovery, we pray for Justin Herbert. with praying hands emojis. He says, my fantasy team needs some prayers this week with a laughing face.
Alex, I'm not going to buy your crap. We know you have a good team. Stop being like, oh, I'm worried about my team's going to lose this week. I need
Alex
it.
is
Oh, I don't
2-0.
have enough reading about death. Shut your pie hole, Alex. You beat James week 1, and then you beat me in heartbreaking fashion. And I scored 140 points in PBR, and Alex scored 141. I don't want to hear a damn thing. Oh, my fantasy team.
Wow. Scorched earth on Alex Weister. 361-882-5397. We have Sam in on the text line. He's talking Cowboys. Sam says, can I get my fellas a question, okay? I don't understand the first sentence, but I'm going to read the rest. Sam says the Cowboys got the W. Cooper passed for 200-plus yards, found a new wide receiver, too, and Parsons and the defense balled out. I wasn't calling a Cowboys W because I'm a delusional fan. I was calling a W because I believe in our defense and saw what they did versus Tampa Bay. The running back duo had some impressive gains as well. Additionally, the biggest red flag versus Tampa Bay was a wide receiver, 2, failing to show up and aid the offense. Signed, Sam. So remember last week, Sam came in here, predicted a Cowboys win, and then Adin and I kind of, not necessarily laughed it off, but we just thought it was a little bit...
I'm sorry, Sam.
We thought it was a little bit, out of touch, so to speak.
I think what Sam is saying is that he should be in your chair right now.
I think so. Sam, come on down. I would love for Sam to join us one day. That'd be awesome. I actually, Sam's a real good guy, big Cowboys fan. But Sam, you were right. I was wrong.
You're right.
Adin was wrong. The Cowboys won, and Sam, you called it. I need Sam's belief.
Yeah, Sam's going to take that chair right from under you, James.
Yep, but
he's going to come in like Mike Ehrmantraut.
You're done. You are done.
Shout out, Sam.
So shout out to Sam. Big claps. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk some college football. Let's dive right into that.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, the Longhorns. The Longhorns blew it. The Longhorns lost in overtime last night. 37-34 up in Lubbock. At one point, the Longhorns were up by double digits. The Longhorns were up 31-17 right after Adin, this Bijan Robinson 40-yard touchdown run by Craig Way on the Longhorn Radio Network.
John Robinson joining Roschon Johnson in the backfield. On second down, handoff, Robinson, right side, Bijan through a slot to the 30. There goes Bijan, saying goodnight to this one. Robinson down the sidelines and in for a 40-yard touchdown run.
It was a tightrope effort from Bijan Robinson. Craig Way, such a beautiful call right there. Love Craig Way. So Texas goes up 31-17 at that point. I'm thinking, all right, man, Texas is about to walk away with this one. Texas is going to get a victory. They're going to be, big-time win on the road against a rival in Arkansas. Nope, it did not happen the way I forecasted it. The thing that was so impressive about what Texas Tech was doing, they were going for it on fourth down quite a bit. They were 6 of 8 on fourth down conversions. Joey McGuire, head coach of Texas, former Texas high school football legend, he showed some guts yesterday going for it like that.
Yeah, and, people thought, they saw what the Texas D did against Alabama, limiting that offense. You thought it was improved, but they took a step back there, didn't they?
They did, and, Texas Tech did go up with 25 seconds left to go in the game. They got a field goal. Texas, it took 3 plays for them to get back into field goal range. Burt Auburn hit a nice 40-something yarder to tie the game, a 47-yarder to tie it. And then they go to overtime. Texas gets the ball in overtime. The first play in overtime, Bijan Robinson fumbles. Damn it!
Yeah, but
he was hit hard. Pearson with the recovery. Merriweather with the hit for Texas Tech. He was hit hard. He fumbled, and damn, that was it right there.
Other teams are going to start. They're going to see, it's a recurring theme. Texas, they put up points in the first 3 quarters, and then I don't know what it starts play calling. Just they get a little too conservative, being afraid to lose. Teams get confident in that they're still in the game no matter what against UT, and UT has to get that monkey off their back sooner or later.
So, yeah, you're right.
Things are starting to heat up for old Sark right there. I know he doesn't have Quinn Ewers, but if this is a trend when Quinn Ewers comes back, then there's a problem. And Hudson Card's not even a bad quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Obviously, he's not Ewers, but he's still pretty solid.
He made an amazing throw to the sideline
I mean,
to get him into field goal range.
wasn't he the number 2 ranked quarterback in his class?
He was the number 3 dual threat quarterback. So,
but he was up there.
Yeah, he was up there. He was
so
he's
not a slouch by any means.
And then so Texas Tech drives. They start and they end up kicking the game-winning field goal. We have the audio right here of that. Game-winning field goal.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Snap to come from Jackson Knotts. Austin McNamara to hold it, and Trey Wolf, the senior from Klein, on for a game-winning field goal try right here. Snap is down, the kick is up, the kick is good, and Texas Tech wins this game in overtime. The Red Raiders win it over Texas. The final score, Tech 37, Texas 34.
Nothing sadder than sad Craig Way.
Yeah.
Dejected Craig Way at the end of a game. Godly. So Texas, they fall to 2-2. They got West Virginia next week. That sucks. Let's go over to the top 10 of the college football. Georgia beat Georgia beat Kent State last night.
Kent State actually gave him a little bit of a game.
39-22.
Georgia did not look as dominant as they usually do.
No.
So Kirby's probably going to find a way to light them up a little bit. They kind of skated on by. They still won the game comfortably in the end, but for the first 2.5 quarters, things got a little too interesting.
Got a little dicey, but Georgia, they handled business. Number 2, Alabama defeats Vanderbilt 55-3, as expected.
Vanderbilt's really bad.
Ohio State, number 3, Ohio State squashed Wisconsin 52-21. C.J. Stroud went off for 281 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Ouch, Alex.
Number 4, Michigan barely squeaked by Maryland 34-27.
Yes, and Maryland gave him a game, and who's Michigan's quarterback again?
Let's see.
If you remember.
Yesterday, it was J.J. McCarthy.
Okay, to me, this is the best quarterback that Harbaugh's had at Michigan. He actually looks like a quarterback.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. So Michigan escapes. Number 5, Clemson. This was probably one of the games of the day yesterday. Number 5, Clemson went on the road to face number 21, Wake Forest. They escaped in overtime, 51-45. DJ Uagalele went 26 of 41, 371 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah,
impressive performance by Clemson.
This is probably the game of the day overall.
That one, yeah, definitely game of the day. But the thing about this, look, everybody's going to say, oh, man, Clemson should have blown out Wake Forest. Wake Forest is a tough team.
Wake Forest was undefeated for a while last season.
That quarterback they have, Sam Hartman, was putting it on Clemson. He had himself an outstanding day as well.
Yeah, Wake Forest ain't a slouch. They know how to put up points.
He was making some amazing throws out there. So Clemson with a tough win, a hard-fought win. That's a good quality win for Clemson. Oklahoma lost yesterday.
Yeah, this helped Longhorns fans. Just like when A&M lost to Appalachian State. This kind of.
But no, it helps ease the pain of the Texas loss because they lost to Kansas State 41-34.
It seems Kansas State always beats Oklahoma though, even when Lincoln Riley was there.
Adrian Martinez for Kansas State went off with 234
former
yards.
Nebraska quarterback, right?
1 touchdown, or 4 touchdowns, I should say. Yeah, former Nebraska quarterback. You're right about that, Adin. But the thing that it helps Texas out the most with is that OU has a conference loss now. Texas has a conference loss now.
However, the Big 12 ain't there's a lot of solid teams that UT still has to show up and win.
They still got to show up and win, but UT is not necessarily.
I mean, Baylor isn't a slouch. Kansas State isn't a slouch. Kansas has improved, and they beat them last year.
That's what I'm saying. Oklahoma State's also pretty tough.
And I'm not going to guarantee West Virginia win either.
No, that's going to be a tough one, and that's going to be a very tough game. But the fact that Oklahoma won conference loss, Texas won conference loss, it kind of eases the pain just a little bit. Number 7, USC squeaked by Oregon State 17-14 in a late night game that no one could see because it was on the Pac-12 network.
Yeah,
there's like 5 people who have the Pac-12 network.
Why is the Pac-12 struggling? Oh.
And they wonder why their conference is dying a slow death because a marquee game with your marquee team is not available for everybody to see.
That wasn't on ESPN. I thought they.
No, it was on the Pac-12 network.
But nobody watched the Pac-12.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
Pac-12 After Dark was one of the things I look forward to. There was a game to watch around midnight for us.
That should have been the Pac-12 After Dark game, easily. But check this out. Bob Sturm of The Ticket, who's one of the biggest sports fans in the world, even he didn't have the Pac-12 network, and he is subscribed to almost every sports package you can imagine. If Sturm doesn't have the Pac-12 network, and if he's not able to watch it, no one's able to watch it. Put it that way. Number 8, Kentucky wins 31-23 over Northern Illinois. Number 11, Tennessee gets a big win over number 20, Florida, 38-33. Yeah. Tennessee will probably be a top 10 team next week.
Yeah, Florida made tried to make a late comeback to steal that game, but Tennessee eventually held off.
Hendon Hooker, quarterback for Tennessee, had a great game. 349 yards passing, 2 touchdowns throwing, 1 touchdown running, and 112 yards rushing. He's kind of entering the Heisman discussion here a little bit. So,
any other notable games?
No, that's about it.
A&M, Arkansas. Arkansas lost,
yes.
double doink.
They did lose.
And the ball hit the top upright, like after the door. I've never seen the ball hit upwards.
Aggie fans rejoice. You guys got the victory.
Yeah,
23-21.
You also lost Appalachian State, but yeah, congrats.
So there we go.
The Ducks beat the Cougars. You know, the Duck has a tweet here, call me Young Gravy, the way I've been taking out these Cougars. It runs in the it runs in the family. So
that was interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Oregon gets the win 44-41 over Washington State. Baylor defeats Ohio State 31-24.
Ohio State?
Or Baylor defeats Iowa State. I'm so sorry about that. 31-24. Washington beats Stanford 40-22. And yesterday, Middle Tennessee spanked Miami 45-31.
People thought Mario Cristobal was actually a good coach.
So there we go. That's going to wrap
up.
I
enjoyed that so much.
That's going to wrap up our college football. I know Adin enjoys that because that's the former Ducks head coach.
He had Justin Herbert, who has a cannon of an arm, throwing screens and dump-off passes and crossing routes. Give me a break.
Give me a freaking break. Give me a break. So that's college football in a nutshell. Texas blows it once again. Oklahoma loses. Tennessee looked good. And Clemson gets a really great win on the road against a pretty damn good Wake Forest team. Great day of college football happened yesterday. Hit us up on the text line 361-882-5397. Let us know your thoughts on all things sport. Coming up next, we have our official scouting report. We're talking Cowboys and Giants Monday Night Football. We break down the game, we give our thoughts, and we make our predictions. Keep it locked right here to the Sunday Sports Rush. Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Rush, episode number 90. It's James Espinosa, Adin Ducker, and Marcos Marroquin with you. Coming up in 10 minutes, we will pick NFL Week 3 games. Alex Weister will call in from the DFW. Marcos will make some picks as well. Looking forward to that. Hit us up on the text line, 361-882-5397. Get your picks in here. Who wins between the Cowboys and the Giants? I want to hear from you, the listening audience. What's your prediction? 361-882-5397. Speaking of Cowboys and Giants, it's time to dive into our Cowboys and Giants segment. We are going to scout the Giants, and this is our official preview right here. The Cowboys come into this game 1-1, coming off of their 20-17 victory over the Bengals last week. The Giants are a surprising 2-0. They beat the Titans in week 1 on the road. They beat the Panthers last week at home. Dallas leads the all-time series 71-46-2. So, here we go. By the numbers. Number 2 is the number you should look out for here. Dallas has only given up 2 touchdowns to its opponents this season, the fewest amount of touchdowns given up by a Cowboys team through the first 2 games since 1996, the last time they won a Super Bowl. That's a pretty good number. Dallas's defense has been playing quite outstanding. Number 19 is a number you should look out for. The Cowboys have held both of their 2022 opponents to 19 points or fewer. The first time Dallas has held an opponent to 19 points or fewer in the first 2 games of the season since 2002. So Dallas's defense is putting up some historic numbers here. And the number 84 is a number you should watch out for as well. The Dallas Cowboys will make their 84th appearance on Monday Night Football this week. Only the Miami Dolphins, with 86 games on Monday Night Football, have more Monday Night Football appearances than the Cowboys. All right. Wanted to get those ones out of the way. When it comes to Cooper Rush, played well last week. My question is this, though, with Cooper Rush. Can we get consistency? Cooper Rush has had 2 one-off games. One against the Vikings last year, got the win on the road, and last week against the Bengals. This is going to be the first time in his career where he starts back-to-back games in the NFL. Teams have the film on Cooper Rush now. And as the season progresses and as Cooper Rush plays more and more games, teams are going to figure out how to take away what Cooper Rush does well. I want to see consistency out of Cooper Rush tomorrow night. Can he still lead this offense and move the chains? Big question there. Big question. Cooper Rush last week started in place of an injured Dak Prescott, led the Cowboys to the win over the Bengals. Rush has a 93.6 passer rating in his 2 career starts. the 5th highest among Cowboys quarterbacks in their first 2 starts ever. So Cooper Rush, off to a great start. Now, let's scout the Giants. So, before we scout the Giants, Adin, I want to know your overall thoughts on Cowboys-Giants. What do you want to see out of the Cowboys? What do you expect out of the Giants?
You know, it's so weird because the Giants have been such an ass team the past few seasons. I haven't really watched them play outside of Daniel Jones' turnovers. They've never really had a healthy Saquon Barkley. They do now, so that's gonna be an aspect on the offense that the Cowboys need to figure out how to stop because he's had a good first couple of weeks so far. I've noticed this Giants team, the first couple of weeks in situational, in late game situations, have been a better team than we usually see from them. I think that's a credit to Brian Dable as well. This game isn't good. I don't expect this game to be easy for both teams. As far as the defense, they have some solid players. I think Adoree Jackson's one of them, and Xavier McKinney on the back end. Dexter Lawrence has been solid up front in the interior. I guess the weak point is probably the linebackers. I look for Cooper Rush to exploit that with some Dalton Schultz crossing routes, some dump offs.
Well, Dalton Schultz is going to be a game time decision tomorrow.
If he plays.
Yeah, he sprained his knee last week against the Bengals. Now, quick scouting report on the Giants. The New York Giants have struggled to gain yards through the air thus far in 2022. They are only averaging 159 passing yards per game, and that ranks 31st in the league. On the other hand, Dallas' secondary, who led the NFL with 26 interceptions in 2021, is giving up the 6th fewest passing yards at 180 in the league through 2 weeks. So the Giants struggle to pass. The Cowboys are really good against the pass. That's something to watch out for. Hopefully the Cowboys can get a couple of turnovers off Daniel Jones tomorrow. Another note for the Giants. This involves their defense because they are blitz heavy. The Giants have blitzed 5+ pass rushers or more their opponents on 35.7% of dropbacks in 2022. That is the 4th highest percentage among all defenses. In the first 2 games of the season, Dallas's opponents sent a blitz on 29.5 of its dropbacks, the 10th highest blitz percentage faced by an offense. So, the Giants are going to blitz tomorrow, and I would expect them to try and attack Matt Farniok, left guard. He has had his struggles. I would expect them to test the left tackle, Tyler Smith. He has played well. Don't get me wrong. Tyler Smith has done great for the Cowboys. But expect heavy blitz tomorrow, heavy pressure from the Giants to try and disrupt Cooper Rush and that offense.
Marcos, what are your thoughts on this game? How do you see it playing out?
Cowboys Giants?
Yes.
Well, Saquon's back. Saquon's back, baby. He's an electrifying player whenever he's healthy. That'll be tough to stop. But, you got Micah Parsons.
Yes, you do. Micah.
He's that dude. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if they have him moving around the field a whole lot more, kind of just hovering, following Saquon around, making sure that he don't bust through the offensive line because they got some good run blocking too. Not the best. Saquon usually does a lot of the backpacking in that department, but I don't know. I think it'll be a really good game. Division rivals.
It's going to be good, yeah.
I think it'll be a good game nonetheless.
And another thing, too, the Giants' O-line's improved. Yes. Another credit to Brian Dable because remember that the tackle Andrew Thomas was considered a bust when he got drafted. Giants fans have been telling me he's turned it around a 180 style, and he's been very solid for them so far.
So the offensive line will be a key for the Giants. The run blocking for Saquon. Y'all guys mentioned Saquon. He's already been brought up a couple of times this segment. Fun fact about Saquon. Barkley leads all players in the NFL in rushing yards entering week 3. He's the leading rusher in the league with 236 rushes on 39 carries. Saquon is averaging 6.1 yards per carry. So he looks like the old Saquon, dude. So Cowboys haven't seen that in a while. He also has 9 catches for 46 yards. So dual threat, he can catch, he can run. Obviously, going to be one of the best matchups tomorrow. Saquon against this Cowboys rush defense. Saquon against this Cowboys defense in general.
Prediction time?
Here in a minute. The Giants have one of the league's best rushing attacks through 2 weeks, as I mentioned. They average 170.5 yards per game. Quarterback Daniel Jones and their passing game, as I mentioned, only averaging 159 yards per game. So it's going to be Saquon. If Daniel Jones does show up tomorrow, I doubt it. I think he's going to have one of his, mediocre games, but we'll see. The Giants will be without Wan'Dale Robinson for Monday night's game versus Dallas, and wide receiver Kadarius Toney and defensive lineman Leonard Williams are listed as doubtful.
Yikes! Yeah, but either way, no matter who plays for the Giants, they're going to bring it, and I expect this to be a tough game for both
Micah
teams. Like
Parsons has an illness. He's listed as questionable, but expected to
he
play.
He tweeted the Michael Jordan shot of that flu game that he had, or the food poisoning
Quinton
game.
Bohanna is questionable as well. Dalton Schultz also listed as questionable. Will be a game-time decision. And Michael Gallup is questionable, but expected to play.
All right, quick, Marcos.
Prediction,
what do you
prediction
think?
time, Marcos. Who wins?
Give us a score.
A score or two?
Yeah.
Let me get Cowboys 17, Giants 14.
Okay, Marcos says the Cowboys winning 17-14. Adin, go for it real quickly.
Slobber knocker. Let me play the hard out music. I got the Cowboys offense being a little bit more successful than we've seen them. They score a couple touchdowns. Brett Maher gets a few field goals. The Cowboys defense limits the Giants offense. I don't see the Giants being 3-0. Give me Cowboys 23, Giants 16.
Give me Cowboys 27, Giants 17. 10-point win on the road. Defense does enough. They pick off Jones twice, and I think Cooper Rush throws a couple of touchdown passes.
I just don't see the Giants starting 3-0. I can't see it.
27-17 Cowboys. That is the official Sunday Sports Rush prediction on the record on News Talk KEYS. All right. Awesome job right there. Coming up next, we will have Alex Weister on the line. We're going to pick some NFL games for Week 3. So stick with us. You're listening to the Sunday Sports Rush on News Talk KEYS.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Yummy, yum, 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 yum.
Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Rush News Talk KEYS. With you till 11 a.m. James Espinosa, Adin Ducker, and Marcos Marroquin with you this morning. Shout out to Nucky's Cocktail Bar for sponsoring the show. 1406 North 14th Street down in Kingsville, Texas. They are your game day destination. Head down there. Happy hour all day on Sunday. You can enjoy your NFL with some fresh Texas craft beer on draft, the freshest handcrafted cocktails, mouth-watering wings, and an assortment on that menu. Their burgers are great as well. Friendly staff, hospitable. Marcos Salinas and company and Andrew Morales are doing a great job down there at Nucky's. Hit them up, 1406 North 14th Street. And thank you guys, Nucky's Cocktail Bar, for sponsoring the show. I know we have Alex Weister on the line, but I want to get to this text real quickly. Mondo sent a text in. He has a Cowboys and Giants prediction. Mondo says, Dallas is going to win. Cooper Rush is playing with a lot of confidence, which Dak Prescott lacked. Many people are fooled by Dak Prescott. He is not really that good.
Oh, he's one of those.
One way to kill talent is give them a big contract. Cowboys will win with Cooper Rush. Signed, Mondo. Ooh, interesting little take on Dak. Not sure I necessarily agree, Mondo. I think Dak Prescott is far and above the superior quarterback to Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is the new toy. Everybody loves the backup quarterback. But what if Cooper Rush throws 2 interceptions tomorrow? What if Cooper Rush craps the bed against the Giants? What if Cooper Rush doesn't have back-to-back great performances? What if NFL defenses start catching up to Cooper Rush? My thing is this. There's a 2-game sample size on Cooper Rush. There's a 7-year sample size on Dak Prescott. I'm going to take the 7-year sample size of Dak Prescott winning more consistently than 2 games of Cooper Rush. I need to see more from Cooper Rush before I even dare entertain that notion. But thank you for getting in, Mondo. We appreciate you for getting in. I got other guys on the text line. I see you guys in here. I will get to you in the next segment. But right now, it's time to pick some NFL games. We have Alex Weister on the line.
What's up? Glad to be back again.
What's good, big dog? How's the DF Dub treating you?
Good. I just stopped off the highway in some random parking lot to make these picks.
Hell yes. I love it. Be safe out there, though.
Being responsible.
Exactly.
Good, Alex.
Good job, Alex. You learned well from Adin and I, the most responsible men in Corpus. So there we go.
Oh, absolutely.
So going into week 3, this is how the standings look. Alex went 3-4 last week, but Alex is still leading. Alex, you're in first place with an 8-7 record.
I'm barely holding on.
Yes, barely holding on. Last week, Adin went 4-3, so he had a winning week. He is back to 500. He is 8-8. I did horrible last week. I went 2-5 overall, but I nailed my upset pick with the Giants over the Panthers, so that gave me 3 wins. 3 points. I'm at 8-9. So it's very tight here. Very tight. We all have 8 wins. We're all separated by a winner or by a loss or 2. So it's tight going into week 3.
Yeah, sounds like last year when James picks horribly but gets his upset pick.
Exactly. I was the upset king last year. First game on the docket, we have the 0-2 Raiders at the 0-2 Titans. The Raiders are 2-point favorites on the road against the Titans. Alex, we'll start with you. Who wins?
I'm going with the Raiders in this one. As I told you, Derek Carr is going to have a massive game against that Tennessee defense that has not proven anything this season. And their offense, most of their best linemen are out. Taylor Lewan's out for the season. Derrick Henry's not able to run well. They have no weapons for Tannehill to throw to. I can't see the Titans beating the Raiders. Is it possible? Of course, it's the NFL. Anything can happen, but I got the Raiders.
I'm going with the Raiders, too. I'm starting Derek Carr today in the Fantasy League. By the way, thank you for the trade. I appreciate that. I needed that help. Derek Carr has a big game. I'm going with the Raiders. Adin.
So I was talking to Alex about this, and I thought this would be my upset pick. I'm big down on the Raiders this year. And I'm going to continue to be big down. I changed my mind on an upset pick. I think Alex is slightly relieved for my sake, at least. I'll pick the Titans, but they're not going to be my upset pick. So, but I don't see the Titans as 0-3. I think the Raiders are just. I don't think McDaniels is a good coach.
All right, and we have our new member here making his debut. It's Marcos Marroquin. He's going to pick games with us. Marcos, go ahead. Who wins?
I got the Raiders. Both teams have struggled this year, but I really don't trust the Tennessee Titans. You know, maybe that's the Texans fan in me, but they've looked really bad this year.
Natural.
They've looked really bad.
All righty. Moving on to our next game. This one has game of the day potential here. It is the 2-0 Bills against the 2-0 Dolphins. We saw what the Dolphins did last week in their comeback effort against the Ravens. We saw the Bills who absolutely just shellacked the Titans on Monday Night Football. The Bills are 4.5-point favorites on the road. I will start with Alex. Alex, who wins, Bills and Dolphins?
As I said twice before, and I'm going to say it again, this game is going to be an absolute bloodbath. The Bills are missing all 4 of their starting secondary. They have a bunch of young players who haven't really played. Miami is going to chew that up. And honestly, I'm going to make a bold one. I'm taking the Dolphins in the upset on this one.
Wow. Alex's upset pick is the Dolphins over the Bills. Damn. Adin, go ahead.
The Bills have been the most impressive team the first couple of weeks. The Dolphins were down against the Ravens 28-7 for a reason. I mean, credit to the Dolphins for coming back, but I mean the Ravens. I trust the Bills' defensive play calling better, and also too, Lamar Jackson lit up the Dolphins. There's no, I mean, why can't Josh Allen do the same thing? Give me the Bills. I had the Bills as my AFC number 1, by the way, and to be AFC number 1, you have to win games like this. So
it's a big game.
So give me the Bills.
Marcos.
Give me the Bills in a close one.
All right. So Marcos is going Bills in a close one. Man, this is tough right here. I need wins. I don't trust the Dolphins yet. I need to see a little bit more out of the Dolphins. I am 2-8 on. Don't get me wrong. I love Tua.
Horrible nickname.
I am 2-8
You're a freak.
on. I am a freak, certified. But I am going to go with the Bills. I think Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are going to continue what they have going. I love what the Bills are doing. Give me the Bills. Next game on the docket, it's the 1-1 Lions at the 1-1 Vikings. The Vikings are -6.5. That is a lot. This Lions team scores a lot of points. This Lions team has showed a lot of fight, a lot of grit. I think that's a big spread. 6.5 for the Vikings. I'll pick this one first. Make this one my upset special of the week. I'm going with the Lions over the Vikings.
Yeah, James.
That is right, baby. I like it.
Let's go, Team Lions.
Yeah, and just because James, I mean, this gives me, I'm the most confident in this pick. I was going to make it my upset, but I'll let James have it. But, yeah, I don't think the Vikings are that good of a team. I know they beat the Packers week 1, but the Packers have always been bad week 1 on offense.
Yeah.
So give me the Lions. I think the Lions might sneak up and get that 7th wild card spot. And, yeah, give me the Lions. They're going to put up some points. And I'm just a Lions believer. And they beat the Vikings last season when they couldn't win any games.
I just love what Amon-Ra St. Brown's doing, what DeAndre Swift's doing with Williams running back. I mean, Goff has even looked pretty good. They have a lot of weapons, Hawkinson and company. I'm going with the Lions. Marcos, who you got?
I got the Vikings. Now, I do have a question. Sorry, I'm like brand new here. Do we cover the spread too?
No, we're just
okay,
picking
straight up
game wins.
Just straight up.
I got the Vikings in a really electric game. I love both of these offenses.
Okay.
Give me the Vikings, though.
Alex.
I love this Lions love. This is amazing. I am riding this hype train. I don't care if they lose. I'm taking the Lions in this one. I love that team.
There we go. Next game up is the Ravens 1-1 at the Patriots 1-1. The Ravens are 2.5-point favorites on the road in Foxborough. I'll start with our resident Ravens fan, Adin. Who do you got?
Yeah, give me the Ravens. They're gonna play. They're gonna play inspired after losing the way against the Dolphins. They lost to the Patriots in Foxborough last season, but it was horrible weather. I don't think the weather will be bad. Give me the Ravens.
Alex.
I got a feeling that the Ravens are going to come out in this game and absolutely destroy the Patriots after their loss last week. I feel like they're going to play really fired up. I got the Ravens in this one.
Marcos.
Give me the Ravens. Lamar Jackson's been on a tear. It's his contract year, Love to see what he's doing.
I love that reasoning right there. It's contract year Lamar. It's revenge year Lamar. Give me the Ravens. So we all have Ravens in a clean sweep. All right, coming up next. Next game on the docket, it's the Saints 1-1 coming off of their loss to the Bucs at the Panthers 0-2 who just lost to the Giants on the road. The Saints are 2-point favorites on the road. Let's start with Alex, our Saints fan.
We are a train wreck right now. That game last week was absolutely brutal. We have a lot of injuries we're dealing with, and we lost to Carolina when we had a practically healthy team last year on the road. So I'm going to take the Panthers in this one.
Whoa, that is a little bit surprising, but I like the fact that you're a realist, Alex, and you never sway from going against your team when you feel it's necessary.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, you know what, I'm kind of feeling the Panthers here as well. I think this is the time they get the win. It's and Carolina. I think Baker's going to play pretty good today. I'm going to roll with the Panthers at home. Who do you got, Marcos?
Give me the Saints. The Panthers suck.
You know what? I was going to pick Panthers, but, man, I don't. Matt Rule as the head coach is starting to bug me a little bit in late game situations. Give me the Saints.
Yeah.
All righty. So it's a split. 2 Panthers, 2 Saints for us. Next game up is the Jaguars at the Chargers. The Jags are 1-1. The Chargers are 1-1. The Chargers are 3.5-point favorites at home. Jags at Chargers. Who takes this one, Adin?
Give me the Chargers. I think the Jags are an improved team. It's going to be a tough game. But I have the Chargers as one of my wildcard teams.
And remember, Justin Herbert is a game-time decision. It all depends on the hand of the trainer who's going to inject the shot into his ribs. And we all know what happened to Tyrod Taylor last time.
I mean, I still like the Chargers anyway.
Okay, even without Justin Herbert. Okay, so Aiden's with the Chargers. Alex, who do you got?
I'm going to go with the Chargers as well, but I would not be surprised to see them lose if Chase Daniels goes out and is the starting quarterback.
All right. So both Chargers, Marcos.
Yeah, give me the Chargers. I'm not all the way in on this Jags team. They look better, but I like the Chargers here.
I took a risky pick with the Panthers, and part of me wants to pick the Jags, but I think this is going to be a clean sweep. I'm going with the Chargers as well. So Chargers sweep for all of us. All right, afternoon slate. We only have 3 more to pick. Packers at Bucks. Packers 1-1. At the Buccaneers, who are 2-0. The Bucks are a -1.5 favorite at home. This is America's Game of the Week on Fox. I'll start first here. The Bucks are down a lot of weapons. They just signed Cole Beasley. He's not that great of a rapper, but he could catch some footballs. The Bucks have a great defense. The Packers are a little bit limited on offense. I'm going with the Bucks. Bucks at home. Who do we got? Adin.
I got the Packers. I don't see the Packers falling 1-2. Brady's not really, if you look back, Brady is not really good in Week 3 games.
Interesting.
He's lost quite a bit of Week 3 games. It's just, I see the Packers winning this one. It's going to be close. It's going to be more of a defensive battle again because both teams are limited on offense. So, yeah, give me Packers.
That's that sports brain of Adin, knowing the Week 3 statistics of Tom Brady throughout his career. Marcos, you're up.
Packers are underdogs?
Packers are the underdog.
Give me the upset.
Oh!
Aaron Rodgers in the upset. Trust me, I think it's a big upset.
Oh, okay.
But, you said it, Adin. A lot of weapons missing on the Bucks. A lot of weapons missing.
The Packers don't have Sammy Watkins, but yeah.
No, they don't.
Bucks.
I mean, is Sammy Watkins even a thing? I guess.
I need to get one upset pick at least.
All right, so Marcos' upset pick is Packers. And Alex, who do you got?
I'm going to take the Packers as well. I just don't know how I feel about saying Sammy Watkins is going to be missing, like Sammy Watkins is some important wide receiver.
He had a couple good plays last week.
He's been missing for the majority of his career, to be quite honest with you.
He's been a good receiver.
Decent.
With the Chiefs in the Super Bowl run.
Yeah, okay. I'll give Sammy Watkins
Okay, we
his
got one more
flowers.
game.
49ers at Broncos. This is Sunday Night Football. The 49ers are on the road at Denver. The 49ers are the favorite, minus 1.5. Who wins this game? 49ers 1-1, Broncos 1-1. I'll make this pick first. I am having a hard time trusting Russ right now. I'm having a hard time trusting Nathaniel Hackett. I think the 49ers defense is going to play outstanding. Give me the Niners on the road with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay.
Go ahead, Alex.
I'm going to agree with you. I got the 49ers in this one. As I told you, the Russell Wilson does not have a great rap sheet against the 49ers the past few years. And with George Kittle coming back into that offense and Jimmy Garoppolo coming back in, having that chemistry, I think the 49ers are going to come out and have a big win today.
All righty, Marcos.
Yeah, I got the Niners. I don't trust Russell Wilson. Well, I trust Russell Wilson. I do not trust this Broncos team. Nathaniel Hackett has looked shaky as a head coach. But I got the Niners.
Yeah, give me the Niners as well for all the reasons you just said.
Okay, Adin, you have yet to pick your upset.
It's a different game because I see the Bears as a 3-point favorite against the Texans.
So who you picking?
I'm picking the Texans to upset.
Wow.
I don't think the Bears are.
I do like that though.
I don't think the Bears are a good team at all.
Okay, so you got Texans over Bears as your upset. Alex, we all picked the Cowboys to beat the Giants. You're the lone man who's left to pick who wins, Cowboys and Giants on Monday night. The Giants are a 1-point favorite at home.
I saw that, and I was absolutely dumbfounded. The Giants get a new head coach, and they're 2-0, and people think they're the next coming of Jesus. I don't understand what the hype is around this Giants team, if there is any at all. I got the Cowboys in that one in a pretty easy win.
All righty, that wraps up our Week 3 picks right there. We'll see what happens. How will things look when we enter week number 4? Alex, thank you for joining us, man. Stay safe up there in the DFW. We love you. We miss you, and we'll be talking here later on today in the group chat.
Yep.
All righty, man. Have a good day. There goes Alex Weister. That we pick 'em. We'll be right back for our final segment. Keep it locked to the Sunday Sports Rush. Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Rush. It is episode number 90. James Espinosa, Adin Ducker, and Marcos Marroquin with you. We just had Alex Weister on the line. We made our Week 3 NFL picks. That's always one of my best. That's my favorite segment out of the whole year.
I feel cheated.
I love it. Oh, Marcos was complaining off air because, for one, he didn't realize that if we don't name a game on our list, that we could pick another game that's off the list for an upset.
Oh, you wanted the Texans?
Yeah, he wanted the Texans.
Oh, my bad.
And then he tried to take the Texans off air, but I had to explain to Marcos, once someone picks a team for the upset, that's it. You cannot have that same team. So now you know for the next time, Marcos. You know for the next time. So, how do I say? You just got rooked. You just got rooked a little bit, but it's okay, man. Let's hit up the text line real quick. I want to get you guys in for sending your takes in here. Jim from Wisconsin is in here. Jim says, greetings from Wisconsin. He says, I watch Odessa Permian 5-0 every Friday night, but can't get the Pac-12 network? And you wonder why USC and UCLA are joining the Big Ten. TV is money, ! Good point right there. I mean, honestly, if you're able to watch a high school football game via a stream as accessible as it is now, MIC Sports Network, by the way.
Good plug.
Yep, hit us up every Friday night for GP football. You should be able to watch the number 7 ranked team in the country, USC. Absolutely ridiculous, this Pac-12 network. Getting in here, Edward has a prediction for Cowboys and Giants. Edward says Cowboys 17, Giants 13. So Edward has a low-scoring game, similar to what Marcos had, and he picks the Cowboys. Aaron is in here. Shout out to Aaron B. getting in. Aaron says, I got the Cowboys 21, Giants 17. Parsons has a field day against the Giants. I call it. There we go. Love it, guys. Love you guys getting in on the text line. It's much appreciated each and every week that y'all guys listen and participate with the show. Love it. It makes it fun. It makes me feel like, all right, yeah, there's people listening. Awesome. Yes, we're not just talking into the void. So there we go. All right, let's go ahead. It's the last segment. Some quick Spurs notes I want to get here on the airwaves. The Spurs made a coaching hire. The Spurs hired former WNBA star Candace Dupree as an assistant coach to Greg Popovich's staff. Dupree was a 7-time All-Star in 15 WNBA seasons and won the 2014 WNBA championship with the Phoenix Mercury. So you lose Becky Hammon, and now you bring on another WNBA star, Candace Dupree.
Do you hear who Spurs lost, though?
Go ahead.
Long-time shooting coach.
Well, yeah, he left to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Right?
I know.
England.
Chip Ellington. Or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
England.
But long-time shooting coach developed a lot of players shooting for him. Even Kawhi's.
Yeah.
Kawhi became a great shooter off of his development with him, and
Tony Parker.
well, you know, just
that
one hurts.
There's a litany of guys who he has reformed
Lonnie
their
Walker,
shots.
Keldon Johnson, a lot of guys. Chip has done a lot of things for the Spurs franchise. That's a big loss.
That is a big loss.
Oh, speaking of Becky Hammon, shout out to her in the Las Vegas Aces WNBA news. They won their first NBA Finals ever.
That's pretty cool, man.
Or WNBA Finals, I mean.
Becky's doing a great thing out there. Shout out to her.
Shout out to Kelsey Plum.
Yes.
You know why.
Big time fan of Kelsey Plum.
Big time fan of Kelsey Plum.
Breaking from the Spurs. This happened yesterday. The Spurs announced that Keldon Johnson is going to be out for the start of training camp next week with a dislocated shoulder.
Man,
but they are expecting him to be back by the start of the regular season at the end of October. But a dislocated shoulder, I don't know, man.
Yeah, man, I'm hearing that. Man, do you hear that, James? Sounds like a loud tank coming in.
Sounds like a tank. It sounds like some ping pong balls, in my opinion.
Do you know what shoulder that is?
Right.
Oh, his shooting
shoulder.
Yeah.
That's tough. He was one of the most efficient shooters in the league last year.
So that's going to be tough. Marcos is a big Spurs fan, so it's going to be nice to have some a Spurs guy in here as well. The Astros clinched the AL West for the 5th time in 6 years on Monday night, and that was pretty cool.
100 games again.
Yep. The Astros are the first club in American League history ever to reach 100 victories 4 times in a span of 5 seasons.
Yeah, man, I just need another World Series to feel satisfied.
4 out of the last 5 years, the Astros have made 100 wins. That is incredible.
Like I said,
right
I just need. I mean, I don't want to get to like too many eggs in the basket, but I just need another World Series to feel satisfied with this Astros.
Me too, because if the Astros don't get another one, they're the 90s Braves. Like, they're a team that they got one, but they always failed in the biggest moments. And I don't want them to be remembered.
And then people are going to say,
it's the cheating. Yeah, they cheated to get that title. The only way they can win a title is if they cheat. We need another Astros World Series.
Cement the dynasty.
Exactly. Cement, get rid of that cheating crap, and let's go on with it. I want to give a shout-out to the Texas A&M University Kingsville Javelinas, baby. Last night, they got a big Lone Star Conference victory over the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds, 43-10. The Javelinas are 4-0. For the first time since 2010, they're 2-0 in the Lone Star Conference. Last week, they went on the road and beat number 15 ranked West Texas A&M on the road. So they're not beating spares. They're winning competitive games. And honestly, as an alum and as someone who has been to countless Javelina games as a child and adult, I'm excited about the program for the first time in a very long time, and that's a great feeling to have Javelina football back and actually competitive.
Yeah, man, and they're a solid team. It's good for y'all.
It's good for us. It's good for the community. Mike Salinas, head coach, is doing a great job out there.
Had him on our show last year.
Yeah, we did. We should probably try and get him on sometime later on this year, see how they do. I took Adin one time sideline to a Javelina game, got some press passes.
Back in 2016, and
no big deal, just got him press passes.
Yeah, a lot of fun stories from there.
Yeah, a lot of fun stories.
I still remember. I'm not going to go into detail.
Yeah, we won't go into detail on that. So yeah, man, that's happening with the Hogs. Gregory Portland got a big win on Friday night. Marcos Marroquin was on the broadcast with Doug and I. Gregory Portland defeated Port Lavaca 41-22. Reed Dooms had 5 touchdown passes. Ross Dubose with 3 touchdown receptions, and Colton Harrison with 2 touchdown receptions. Gregory Portland's offense is high-powered, bro.
Yeah, Reed Dooms has been doomsday for opposing defenses so far this season.
Yes, the doomsday offense.
Yeah, and this is gonna be. You know, I mean, I would still like to see Brandon Redden out there. Unfortunately, what happened to him. But the silver lining is that this is great experience for Reed Dooms. He'll be seasoned as he has 2 more years as GP's quarterback coming up. So
it was a fun road trip to Port Lavaca. A lot of things were discussed in the car.
A lot of stuff we're talking about here today.
Yeah, exactly. So it was pretty cool, man. So there we go. That's going to wrap up the Sunday Sports Rush episode number 90. Hope you guys out there enjoyed the show.
Shout out Marcos' first ever Sports Rush.
Let's go. Big claps for Marcos.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, boys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm glad you didn't call me Alex.
I did in between a segment.
I called Marcos Alex twice.
3 times.
Or 3 times during the broadcast.
A third
on
time.
Friday,
I missed
yes.
that.
I caught myself the 3rd time. But there we go. Here's Marcos Marroquin, and we're glad to have him here. All right. Shout out to Nucky's for sponsoring the show. Shout out to all you boys and gals out there for getting in on the text line and for listening. Adin Ducker, amazing job.
Well, I'm solid.
Marcos, good stuff, man.
Appreciate it.
All righty, that's going to wrap up the show for Adin Ducker, Marcos Marroquin. I'm James Espinosa. No more questions. We'll talk to you next week.